because I saw this towards the back end of last season as well. From, like I said, from January, I started seeing it. And then the excuse was, and God, Liverpool love an excuse, or Liverpool fans love an excuse. The excuses were, yeah, nobody's tired, G. You know what I'm saying? He's not being swapped and rotated out and about. Fairs, fairs, fairs. Cool. Now we start the whole new season. That ain't changed. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like that anything has kind of moved the needle. What is going on with Ryan Gravenberch this season? Like, someone explain to me what is going wrong with Ryan Gravenberch. Like, are we watching the same player? And when I say the same player, I'm talking the player that we probably saw last season for the first 3 to 4 months of the season. The player who people were talking about, he is the next Ruud Gullit. He should be a Dutch legend. He's almost as good as those guys. He could play in the same team as that, the famous Dutch teams, the famous Ajax teams, when it had all those, the Van Bastens and people of that kind of ilk. We were talking, I say we, I wasn't, we is French, as Savage likes to say, but people were talking about this guy like he was here. I think I'll try and get the picture up of what people were making Gravenberch to look like. Now, of course, that's all banter, that's all jokes. But you see why sometimes you just got to take time. This is what I say to my son. Sometimes just take time. You don't have to rush. There's no rush to do whatever it is you're trying to do. If there is, I'll tell you. I'll let you know and I'll say, hey, listen, look, little man, you know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, cool. We need to keep it moving. We need to keep it pushing. And I'll push that. I'll push that. But in football, sometimes just take time. Take time. It's not every day that we need to be, you know what I mean, on 100, kind of thing. And God, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, again, this season, obviously, you guys already know, like, I've not really been too locked in with Liverpool. Um, in 2026, more so. 2025, yeah, maybe for the first part of the season. I watched a lot more games than I have now in terms of Liverpool, but yeah, just in the games that I've seen as a reason, I'm just like, bruv, like, this is the Ryan Gravenberch that I thought he was anyway. To be honest with you, I didn't really think he was. I didn't think he was what I saw at the beginning of last season, which I thought, by the way, was really, really good. I'm not even gonna. I didn't want to believe it at first, and I did think, I mean, form temporary, class is permanent, all of that kind of thing. But he was doing what he needed to do, and he was doing it very, very well. I mean, the Gravenberch turn that everybody obviously always talks about, yada yada yada, right? So yeah, I would definitely say he did his thing, but I would say since January of 2025, yeah, that brother just been on sabbatical at this point. And the thing is, I ain't even here to try and like constantly just berate players and stuff. The only reason why I even do these kind of videos is just more for the fact of I don't really see enough people talking about these things. And I feel like we always push things under the rug and we're quick to talk about other players. We're quick to mention other players for whatever reason, whether it's just agendas and whatnot. And listen, look, I might have an agenda on Ryan Gravenberch. You know what I'm saying? I'm always talking about him. So fairs. But in general, I feel like we're always quick to talk about there's certain players in everyone's team, but in specifically for Liverpool, there are certain players that constantly get kind of berated. Any little kind of thing, it's like, oh, look at this guy, he's doing this, he's doing that. I feel like Gravenberch's been kind of getting away with it for quite some time now. Granted, recently I've seen more people obviously talking about it, so that's great. So maybe this video is a month too late, for example. But yeah, this season I think it's been poor. Now, there's the whole we can attribute some of this to the manager. We can definitely do that. Same thing I did for Florian Wirtz. We can attribute some of this to the manager, but I feel that most of it is more coming from him because I saw this towards the back end of last season as well. From, like I said, from January, I started seeing it. And then the excuse was, and God, Liverpool love an excuse, or Liverpool fans love an excuse. The excuses were, yeah, nobody's tired, G. You know what I'm saying? He's not being swapped and rotated out and about. Fairs, fairs, fairs. Cool. Now we start the whole new season. That ain't changed. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like that anything has kind of moved the needle. Do you get what I'm saying? Like at what point then is it? At what point is it? Can we ask him to take responsibility for his own performances? Now I didn't watch the game at the weekend against Fulham, but he might have played absolutely 10 out of 10. I have no idea, and I don't actually really care. To be honest with you, it's not really about that. I'm just talking about as a whole this season in the games that I've seen of him. Now, when I'm looking here, he's played 30 games this season. I would probably say maybe I've seen about 22 of those this season, maybe between 20 and 22 games I've watched probably of him in the Premier League anyway. And I would say maybe like around three, yeah, maybe like around about three-ish. I would say, yeah, three or four. I would say four. I think I can't even remember the games, but I'd say maybe there's been like three games. I'd have to probably go back, and you guys would have to tell me in the comment section. It's probably been about three games. I said, oh no, he was all right. And I'm saying he wasn't the problem today, or I didn't look at him and think, oh, you played badly, kind of thing. And of course there's going to be things and there's going to be games where he might have just gone under the radar for whatever he's done, whether that's just done his job and it wasn't good or bad. He was just done his job, and that's absolutely fine. I don't criticize players for that kind of thing. I always said this. I would prefer if you just did that than show me that you're supposedly of this kind of level. But then when we do get to that level and we're then judging you by that standard, which is what I thought we did with players, we judge them by the standard that we've seen them when they've hit those heights. When they don't hit those heights, then we are allowed to ask questions, right? Like I feel like it's like taboo. You can't question. Yeah, and there has to be an excuse. There's got to be a reason why said player is not at that kind of ability. Sometimes you're just not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just done. We look at Salah this season. It's just done, my friend. It's just done, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It's over, buddy. You know what I mean? Like we're done. We're like you're finished over here. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we can't hit that heights anymore. And I'm looking at Gravenberch and I'm like, the the maddest thing with the whole Gravenberch thing that I always think about is, and it's not just him. Don't get twisted. We're gonna probably do a video on McAllister's. We could do a whole video on the whole team, really and truly, which I might end up doing. But when you're looking at just McAllister in himself, I'm Gravenberch, sorry, in himself, I'm just like, yo, like Liverpool fans are saying, yeah, we got by number 6. So what does that? So what does that then mean for Gravenberch? Because that's the position he plays. So unless you're saying someone else in that midfield is getting taken out, so maybe it ain't gonna be Zobo. I know that much. At the bare minimum, I don't think it's gonna be him unless you sign 2 world-class midfielders, which it's not gonna happen. So let's say Zobo is gonna still be there. So maybe what McAllister gets dropped out? I don't think he's gonna even like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like he looks at himself and thinks he must be on at least the same level as Gravenberch at the bare minimum. I don't know, and I don't know how people feel about that, but yeah, that's kind of the way I look at someone like a McAllister, right? So I'm just looking at Gravenberch and I'm just like, for years, since Fabinho left, and I want to say since Fabinho left, because in his last season he was pants. So let's say since Fabinho was dead at Liverpool and then left, Liverpool just haven't gotten someone in. And Savage, where's Sergio Bajcetic and that? You know what I'm saying? Where's he? Because I haven't seen that guy time, for time. But cool, whatever. I digress, right? Um, when I'm thinking of Liverpool needing to sign a midfielder, that's an area of the pitch that you're looking at thinking, yeah, kind of maybe do need to get someone in that position potentially. And I do think someone like Gravenberch should be relegated to the bench. And I just feel like if I'm saying that you should be a bench player more, or bench player sounds so rough, right? And I know people are going to cry about it. So let's say a rotational player. If I'm saying you should be a rotational player, and these times you was coming off the back of having a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 months at Liverpool, when Liverpool won the Premier League and you won Young Player of the Year and all these kind of things. I'm now looking at you thinking, yeah, now you need to be a rotational player. How do you go from that to that? Yeah, you've definitely gone, phew. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you've gone, phew. I don't know what's happened. I don't know how it's happened, but you've just gone, phew. And it's just peak at this current moment in time. I'm telling you, I'm looking at Gravenberch and I'm saying, boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's looking a bit dodgy for you right about now. It's really, really looking a bit dodgy for you, man. I don't really know where you kind of go, if I'm being, 100% honest with you. But yeah, that's just my own opinion. Let's look at the stats, man. So left is last season 24-25, as you can see, and then obviously right is the 25-26. All right, let's look at this. Sorry about that. Okay, this is per night. Yeah, per night. Gee, let's see this. Look at that. Stats shut me right up, didn't it? Hold on, what? Oh, he didn't score no goals last. I was thinking, wow, how's he got 0 conversion rate? Fair enough. So all of the goals and stuff, he's been doing better this season, hands down. Definitely improved that part of his game, I would say. Or yeah, I'll say he's improved that part of his game. Overplayed passes completed per 90, better. Assists the same. Chances created, he's created point 0.1 more. He attempts more passes this season per 90. His accuracy was it's just by 0.05, so I'm not really counting that. I'd say that's the same. Um, the forward passes, he makes more this season. Through balls, he makes more. Take ons more. Has more touches. He recovered the ball more last season. He lost possession less last season. He's had more touches in opposition box. So are we saying that he's because of his position change then? Because this is showing me that he's kind of had a bit of a position change. But when you're looking at the metrics, I guess these metrics here, he technically, if you just looked at the stats, he's actually been better this season. He's improved upon quite a few things this season in terms of per 90 minutes. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the stats are saying one thing and I'm saying another thing. You know, I'm saying, hey, listen, look, we got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to look at these kind of things. Now let's look at the total. Obviously the goals. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's showing because he played 37 games last season. So I do want to give a little bit. This is why I wanted to do per 90 minutes instead, because I prefer to look at it from that kind of angle. But yeah, everything is basically green for last season, effectively, bar a couple of bits and bobs. He's lost less possession. He's still got 7 games to go, so I guess we can look at this then. But yeah, there seems to be like a positional change from what we're seeing here in terms of the stats and stuff like that. There does seem to be, okay, he's been playing, would I say, further forward, or he's had more of a license to get himself forward. Is that a reason as to why? Like I said, you can attribute some of his poor form, in my opinion, to the manager, position, team being crap, the gaps that are left in midfield, the job that you're asking him to do, all these kind of various different things. You can attribute some of that to the manager, but I do think at times I'm watching him and I'm like, I can't say everything is down to the manager. Manager's not asking you to lose the ball. Do you get what I'm saying? Manager's not asking you to dribble potentially in certain areas of the pitch that you just don't seem to be able to. Manager's not asking you to be soft in the middle of the park, you know, or he's not telling you to allow runners, you know, off the back of you. He's not telling you to do these things. Do you get what I'm saying? Well, I don't think he's telling you to do these things. So yeah, it's an interesting conversation with Gravenberch, man. I'm not even saying sell him or anything like that. I don't think it's. I don't think it's that like it's not like man's going to be able to get in Pedri and Vitinha. Then you're saying yeah, sell all of them. Do you know what I mean? But it's really not that kind of thing. I'm just saying maybe for me you just got to be a rotational player next season. Do you know what I'm saying? And maybe that might even help him. That you know what? Let's look at it from that kind of angle. Maybe this might help him if we get in a couple midfielders. Do you get what I'm saying? People like him, people like McAllister, relegated to the bench, but then they come in every now and again and they can get their own stretch in the team. Where for 5 games, you know, randomly, I don't know, in December, for example, they always play. Then they go back to the bench and you bring in the main hitters and you can swap and rotate. You know, maybe that might help. Maybe it's a numbers thing. I don't know. But like I said, I've just not been impressed at all with Ryan Gravenberch, man. I really, really haven't. So, yeah, hopefully for his sake it gets better. But if it doesn't, see you later, bro. See you later. But let me know your thoughts, man. I feel like I've done bare videos on Ryan Gravenberch. If I look back on my channel, I'm sure I have, and I feel like I'm always talking about him. But that's his fault. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he needs to pat it up. Yeah, I mean, he needs to start showing this golden boy promise that we were promised. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because right now I'm just not really seeing it, and you've been here now for like 3 years, and I'm just like, bro, what? In 3 years, let's say I'll give you, in 3 years, if you totaled it all up, you're probably saying you've had about a good 7 months since being at the football club, give or take. You know what I'm saying? I can't even, can I really say 7 months? August, September, October, November, December. Let's say January. That's 5 months. Has he had a month where he's been good like that? Maybe seven's even being too high. Maybe I'll say 7 is a maximum in your 3 years that you've been here. Not the one, buddy. Not the one, man. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really, really would like to know how people feel about Ryan Gravenberch. Is he your flavor? Do you think Liverpool need to upgrade on him? Should we just sell him? Kind of thing. Let me know your thoughts. Comment section, peeps. And I'll catch you really, really soon. Peace.